hosting tourists be a part of the state's education system?
Hosting terrorists?
Tourists.
Oh, tourists. Sorry.
Well, in a way, I kind of don't think so because they're like training them to be like really welcoming and like they're kind of breeding them to be a certain way, like have the aloha spirit before they can really like choose on their own. And also, I think maybe it gives them the idea that like the tourists are kind of like higher than them, like at least in a way of like they have the money and that's what they need from them. And you know, like Lovey, she got the same kind of idea that Hallies were like the better, like the higher, superior like people, and like that's kind of how she wanted to be. And like I don't know, maybe it's affecting the students in the same motion. Yeah.
Yeah, but then also she wasn't just affected by they were, but there was also the kids at her school who were also really always saying that they were better than her because they always had the money and that they were like always had the Howley names and always had the Howley rich families and stuff like that.
I agree with Ocean because they're pretty much training them like they would a fight dog, just training them to fight. Just that's what they're bred to do.
Except it's not really fighting; it's just tourists and yeah.
I'm using that as an example.
Hospitality.
Is my voice recognizer?
What?
Are you writing anything down?
No, I don't have to, do I?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yes.
Read the paper.
About what?
You have to take Alex when he was talking.
Oh, God.
If you don't want the job, then someone else did. But we need to move along.
Sorry.
Okay, and also, it might be a better idea for you guys to circle up, but that's up to the facilitator. Okay, sorry, keep up.
Also, it's making like if you guys have any of you ever gone to Hawaii, because the people like the locals there are really mean to tourists, so I don't really see if they're training them to be like really like nice in school, and I guess like and then they're actually kind of harsh.
This what I remember about this paper is that I don't know if I'm correct or not, but wasn't it made like a couple of years ago or something? Or was it a recent paper?
That's true.
Because like whenever I've gone to Kauai, some of the locals are like pretty hostile sometimes, like and they're kind of shy with how they want to just be with each other. And the reason why they might be doing that is because just recently, I guess this big like Hollywood guy moved to Kauai and bought some of the land, so now like, the whole island's getting into the modern world and now getting up into like all this bad kind of stuff. They're starting to get more
kind of like realizing
what's
really going on.
Yeah, what's really going on, and that they're kind of like being more, like I said, hostile.
Oh yeah, and I just like the articles from like 1988.
Then yeah,
so
of course.
Probably why. My mom went to Hawaii like when she was 18 or something, and like one of the locals actually let them stay stay with them for a night because she was like broke and couldn't afford a hotel room.
Like the locals there are actually really nice. If once you get to know them and you're actually a local yourself there, they'll actually treat you with a lot of kindness because you're not leaving them and just to spend your money and to see them dance like monkeys, so to speak.
Okay, so we should have some other people talk, because Ocean and Liam have talked 3 times already. So, any other people, please talk. They're on timeout right now. Just saying. So, no one wants to talk.
Has anyone been to Hawaii? Like, anyone else?
Next question.
That would probably explain why.
Does anyone else have a question?
Yeah.
I guess the state is like teaching people how to with like the aloha spirit, I think it kind of like puts them in a position where they don't have really anything else to do because they're not really focusing on education but more on the spirit of them. And I don't know, I don't think that they should be teaching it in the education because it kind of like sets them into this like place where they can't really get out of it, you know? like if they wanted to move out, they wouldn't really know anything unless they went back to school.
I kind of agree with that. Like, I don't think they should be really teaching their younger sibling, like they're not siblings, but like their kids in Hawaii that they should be taught like to spread the aloha spirit all over, and like it's just like it's become like a disease now since like he kept on doing it, and if they try to stop it, they're not gonna stop it because so many people do it so far right now. You know.
Well, in a sense, it's a good thing since they're teaching them to be nice to everybody, but it still doesn't make it right.
But people like kids, they obviously should get education, but they shouldn't be taught the spirit of their like culture. Like they should already like take it in without having to be taught.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I don't know, I don't think they should be taught that either. Like, it should be not their choice, but like, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
Yeah, culture is something you develop, not
Yeah.
something you are like taught.
Learn.
You know. Plus, they're lacking educational value. So.
Like we haven't learned our culture, but we probably know it. Like we learned like a couple things, but.
Well, you can sometimes be taught.
Well, like
you.
yeah, I'm just saying like we know a lot about like Washington D.C. of our country and
Well,
all
like-
that, but
Like, okay, like, you can be taught your culture about some things, but not, like, the really
Everything,
in-depth
yeah.
kind of
well,
stuff.
this is like different. This is taught how they should like act, like to people.
Yeah, I don't
like
agree with that
tourists
at
and
all.
stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's like the guy told him to, you're supposed to act like this and nothing else. Treat them this way, not this way.
Well, I was thinking, what if the teachers, like the adults, stop telling the locals to like stop spreading the actual spirit of aloha? So then, what would happen if tourists come and they're like treat them badly? They'd like leave and then they
Yeah,
would
in
get back.
Hawaii,
Yeah, 'cause-
Hawaii would lose money.
Yeah, most of Hawaii's main source of money is their,
Yeah, tourists.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like, what is it, like 60% of their income?
yeah.
Probably.
They also,
crazy amount.
then like, another percent is, I guess, the rice that they make, or the salts.
Fish.
Yeah, but that's like
Exotic
a really
fish.
small percentage. Most of it's tourism.
Yeah.
Next
Jared,
question.
I'm done. Is there like
Marius,
other
would you
people
like to
wanna
say anything?
comment on this?
I
Any
think
other-
that you shouldn't be forced to like study your culture. I think you should have your own choices in life. Like you could you don't have to be forced. You could come up with your own ideas, like how you should learn about it. And you shouldn't be like reprimanded to do what people tell you to do.
And like a question from me is like the local kids there are growing up getting used to this, but if we were to take it away, what else would they learn? Because this has been in their culture for
Many years.
many years. So what are they gonna learn if this gets taken away from them? And how
Pretty
do
much
like,
teaching them how to act right.
Yeah.
Well,
like
and
Well, think
more,
about
but-
it. Do they like to act in front?
do they like this or do they not like it? It's what they've been taught and what they've been learning, and they haven't really been saying that much about it.
They haven't
we
given
know.
a choice. They can't get like a choice from their adults.
I think it's the same thing as in like elementary school and them teaching us as manners.
Yeah.
Like it's no different.
Although,
Except it's their way of teaching.
if you go back to like the text, it mentions like they have like a week of like school time where they actually put it into looking into like jobs like that have to do with like hotels and like managing like luau's and stuff. So
Yeah, because
it's not just like acting right, it's like kind of pushing them in a direction of career.
yeah, like just this last year, I was in Kauai and I was watching this luau, and I noticed something. The only people I saw there were the tourists in their was in their Hawaiian shirts, short shorts, just sitting there going clapping for the people dancing up there, and the guy was like going like trying to sound like white and trying to sound like them, going okay, what we're gonna have next is this and then this, just planning out a luau that's basically just lost all its culture and all its meaning and just making it an entertainment show.
Like a joke.
Yeah, like a joke.
So basically, if there's tourists and they're watching a luau, that's basically a circus.
Yeah. Because there's like no feeling left in the luau anymore. It's just like
They're just like performing.
it's just
Just
performing.
yeah. Well, that's what it is. But like,
Like,
I
they
get
won't
what you mean.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to say something?
I mean, you
Yeah,
gotta
bro.
understand, like these people that are doing this, like, they were probably raised to do this, and when we're thinking about oh, this is wrong, like, they're just humiliating themselves, they never had the right to think for their own. Like, we should do something about it. Well, the people who are doing stuff like that, like participating in houses and stuff, probably they just want to stick to the same routine. Like, if you try to take that away from them, you might be doing the opposite of helping them. You just might be like messing up their
comfort
main
zone.
core in their mind. Yeah.
Yeah, like I guess how do you say you're trying to help us? You're trying to help a distant African or not African, but like a distant tribe or something that are set in their own ways, but you think that they're doing it all wrong and that they're having so much trouble, but in their
Because
eyes,
we haven't heard their side of the story yet.
yeah, but in their eyes, it's like perfectly fine. They don't need any of our help. But
It's because they're in their comfort zone. We're
yeah,
trying to take them away from it. And
yeah,
It's cause maybe some people don't like when someone's born to do something and they're used to it. When they try and adapt to something else, they might not feel comfortable about it, cause they're used to what they used to do before. So it's like stepping them out, and like you're telling them what to do, and it just doesn't make them feel very good about stepping them out.
Yolanda, Arturo, you guys have 0. So you guys have anything to say?
Like, where, like, if they, like what Liam said, how, they're just, like, making them, like, look like clowns, like, I think, like, they should, like, have, like, you know how they say, like, they have the same routines, or, cause, like, the teachers there, they want them to have, like, different kind of routines, cause, like, what if the same people that came and saw, like, the same routine, and then they're just, like, thinking, why are they doing the same thing? Why can't they do anything different?
like we read the stories saying that they're supposed to treat the natives or no, the tourists with kindness and thoughtfulness, but I have this friend who went to high school there, and he was actually not even treated like he's lived in Kauai for like a long time of his life, and some of the kids there are actually really mean to each other, and they were like saying a lot of things about him, just really hurting him. So there's something that they sometimes they'll treat the tourists right, but then also sometimes they'll treat each other with not that much kindness and respect.
Almost feels like they're falling like apart,
Yeah.
but they're trying to regain everyone, like teaching them in school stuff about aloha spirit to keep it together.
Oh yeah, how could I forget? My friend Munir, he's like a military kid, you know? So he went to Hawaii for like a year, and of course being the new kid, but he wasn't a tourist, he was kind of picked on, I guess. So he just like barely got by like being funny and trying not to get in anyone's way.
Yeah.
But I guess they were pretty harsh on him.
Like
Because, I mean, he's not a tourist, so he's not giving them money, and I mean, like, the other kids were just like, oh, new black kid, let's mess with him.
yeah, but like the white people who go there for like vacation and are like not just there to just rest or something, and then you find this hidden beach or something. You go there, you hang out. All of a sudden, these Hawaiians come in and start picking on you because you're the white one out, the haole who's coming to their land, their territory, of their surf spot or something, and they're like they can get mad at you for a lot of different things. They single the people out, and yeah.
True, do you have anything to say?
No, they said routine.
So are we ready to move on
No.
to the next question?
Basically, yeah, routine comes to sense.
Okay, should they continue the aloha curriculum? Why or why not?
Arturo.
Pero, would you like to say something first?
No, Arturo, you have to say something.
addition, they should add more like educational stuff, like in like curriculum that's related to American curriculum, like in the United States.
Like the history of it.
I think that instead of having like the whole, I guess like the whole school day about like business and tourism, I think they should have like an hour, like different classes. You know how we have history class and we learn about our history of America? I think they should have something like that instead of just everything being revolved around the Aloha spirit.
Tourists and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking too much, but yeah, and also if you add more educational things in, like math courses and stuff, then it gives them kind of an opportunity to become what they want more because they have more experience and like they have more ways to succeed, I guess, if they have more educational opportunities.
What was the question again?
Should they continue the Aloha curriculum? Why or why not?
Oh,
I think they should, but not as much. Like, don't enforce that as much. Like, they should be like, oh yeah, you should treat people with kindness, but like, I don't think their whole school day should be about that.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
even like
yeah.
Like
going
they
off
should
of
stick
it.
to
Yeah,
culture.
yeah, I
Like,
think
they should
Yeah.
learn their manners too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
they,
think they should be taught manners. I think they should already know how to be nice.
yeah, I agree. They should teach them their manners, but also add everything else that,
It's like
combine everything else
Yeah.
with that.
it's like when you're like little kid and your parents taught you like don't steal the cookie from the jar or something like that, and they used to
Don't put your elbows on.
yeah like that. It's like you should be taught, but you should also be taught other stuff and not just influence and focus on one thing.
I mean, you know, like right from wrong when you're like 2. Like when you kick sand in the kid's face when you're like 2 years old, you know you did something wrong. That's why you run away or you make that face. Like you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you throw a kid at a rock, you know it's wrong.
don't. You made me throw a rock at
Whoa,
a kid.
that's so cool.
How strong
He
were
must
you
be
last
really
time?
strong.
Damn.
Stupid rock got in the way.
Punish the rock.
Okay, we should go back on topic, please. Any other?
Desiree, would you like to speak about this topic?
Well, I guess from like what Ocean said, like how they should add more like different subjects into their curriculum and stuff. Like if they do, they're gonna be like more open to different careers other than like in tourism, like science,
Psychology.
medical, psychology, and yeah.
Cool.
Anyone else? Arturo, you still have 0.
You made me forget what I was gonna say.
Just saying.
Well, comparing to the book, why do you think Lovey wants to be Howie instead of like locals?
Whoa, wait.
Got you.
Cause she hates being poor and when she should be grateful that she's with her family or whatever.
Hey, you stick to this.
Okay. No, it's on her.
Not
Uh,
I have fast.
so
Well,
I
they
can
can
ask
ask their
whatever I
own
want.
questions.
Okay, what's the question?
Why do you
Yes.
think Lovey wants to be Howie instead of her part locals?
Is that the question?
Cause she
Well,
hates
because
being
like
herself
everyone at
being
school,
poor
all the Howies are like act like they're superior, you know.
and look
And
down
when
on her.
you keep being told that you're inferior to someone, like you're like lesser, I guess. Like you start to believe it, you know. And I think that's what happened. She started to believe that she was less of a person because she wasn't Howie, because she wasn't rich. So she wanted to become that, I guess.
I guess you could say that that's part of the reason why that's the case. But another reason why is like I recognize that she also doesn't see she didn't see much of her culture where she came from so much, how strong that was, how superior her culture was until like later on in the book how her dad explains how his grandfather was like a great samurai.
Their history,
Yeah.
their history from Japan.
But she was lacking that confidence.
We still need some from Yolanda and Desiree, you guys, and Arturo.
What's the
Try to
question?
think.
And Carrie.
Carrie's already. Carrie's got 4.
Yeah.
How much you want?
You've got 5.
How many go?
Okay.
What's the question?
The
below.
Okay,
Why do you think?
why does Lovey, given the idea of exploitation, desire to be Howie?
Well, it's like at school she was mistreated because she was a different person, and if she was that person, she wouldn't be mistreated in one way. Cause it's like you see someone that's different or not doing the same hairstyle or anything like that, and you tend to pick on them because they're someone else that you don't. They're like a different person. That's why you want to really like. It's like you don't feel comfortable when you see someone that's doing different things.
Yeah, I agree with Andres because like in school she was getting picked on for not being Howley, so she would get like looked down on, and so she said she thought to herself, I should be more Howley, so they should stop treating me like this.
Well, she wasn't really getting picked on because she wasn't Howley, saying that the girls she was getting picked on because she wasn't like full Japanese.
Or like
Like she wasn't full Japanese, or she didn't have a Howley name. Not that she was Howley, because it was mostly that everybody had the Howley boyfriend, but not the Howley. But she didn't. She just didn't have the Howley name, or wasn't even full Japanese, or
she
kinda
was
like.
like
They're really picking on her just for typical things: her looks, how she dresses,
Her
how she
family.
acts.
her family, how she acts.
Not for anything like in her like insiders. They're judging her on her outside instead of her inside.
Yeah.
They don't really
They
listen
never
to her.
like
sexual
actually been
preferences,
friends
like
with her,
guys,
Yeah.
so
color,
no one got to know her.
Like they didn't like really know her, and like that's why they've been like treating her like bad, and um, that's why she's like been only having like one friend or like two friends that she can like count on and like talk to, and then like she's like looking at other people and saying like they have like boyfriends, and like it's like she wants one, but like no one would want to because like she doesn't want to like talk to them to herself.
Time out. Time. How much time do we have?
We had doesn't it end at 10:45?
Just how much time is on the clock?
It's about 10:30. It's about like 20. No.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut it down to 10 minutes left. Okay. So between 8 and 10.
We have 8 more minutes
Okay,
till
next
30
question.
minutes on this.
Go to the bathroom.
I don't know any notes.
Let's just keep going because the other group is finished.
Okay, next
So
question.
let me just remind everybody, if you haven't spoken, this is your last, hurrah. Let's do it.
Okay, last
Jake.
question.
Jake, how many do
Or
I have?
next question.
What?
How many do
Why
I
are there many voices
Do
left
you
out?
have?
Why are there many voices left out of the history books?
Wait, what?
Probably.
Oh.
I don't really understand that.
Why has there
Like-
been many voices or many characters left out of history books? That's what he said.
I think they're like I think it means like why did they kind of leave out on the bad stuff? They only like gave him the good stuff. Like
Marie?
about Captain
Yeah.
Cook, what he did.
Maybe kind of show how you know how George Washington was like the first president of the United States, and how he was such a good president, like he
Yeah.
brought the country together.
It's because history is written by
But then they
winners.
don't
Yeah, who the winners, but some history books don't put in like also like George Washington was also a slave owner.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
never put in
Yeah.
all his
Yeah.
bad characteristics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Like he was
showing
racist.
someone only the good pieces, but not really hiding like showing the bad pieces of what they did. It's like some people just want to be like perfect, like they want a people because they might think they might lose money if they put in bad stuff, so that's why they just put in really good stuff. It's
Well,
like
It's basically
I mean,
making
they
a
just want the
it's
culture
like-
to have a good idea of like the Howies.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I think related to this topic again, but like, cause they put in like so much effort to make George Washington sound good, they only think he's only good at one thing.
basically making a turd look like an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
hey, he's still our president, even if he's a third president
That's
Yeah,
right.
this guy
Music.
would-
or
There's,
first.
there's still wars and stuff created by the president,
Yeah.
and they're arguing.
And like they like we barely even know of like the 32nd or no like half of the presidents on our out of the how many presidents that we've had, we barely even know all of them.
We really only
Yeah,
know
we
ones
only
that
know
have
like
been.
a couple.
Yeah,
The
ones that
big
became-
ones, the big
Lincoln.
ones.
Obama, Bush,
Bush
George
was-
Washington.
We know
Bush
which
was
was
Kennedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kennedy.
Thomas Edison. Wait.
No.
Wait, no. Thomas Jefferson.
No.
Wait.
Thomas Jefferson.
It was
Thomas
Jefferson.
Jefferson.
God,
Oh.
say his
Samuel
last
Adams,
name.
Samuel Adams or whatever.
Yeah.
Teddy
That's
Roosevelt.
beer.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
he was the
because
president.
we never really learned
Okay,
about
we're getting
it.
off topic. We're getting off topic.
Yeah, we're getting a little too off topic. Desiree, do you have anything to say for the question?
Okay, why are there many voices left out of the history books?
Okay, so like I guess it's like well, I guess it's because like they don't want the kids to like look away from like being from the aloha spirit since that's what they're taught. Like they're told that like some dude like shot wait, what's it? Like if they're told that
You need help?
yeah.
Does anyone have this?
Let's see. Okay, like if they said like how Cook made an example of one suspecting thief by ordering a cross to be carved on both his shoulders and penetrating his bone, they're not going to want to do the aloha spirit as what they're taught to do. So.
What? I don't speak.
That's good.
Another thing I think that has to do with that is, you know how love. Stop putting check marks down for me because it's gonna look really bad. I have like probably like 15.
You and Liam are like neck and neck,
But
so it's alright.
you know like how Lovey was talking about how she goes to church, so obviously she's Christian, and like so like if Cook like probably was the one who kind of imprinted the Christianity, like he started that, but the way he did it was such like a like I mean he like cut the forceful. It was like so harsh and violent that they probably don't want to mention that that's how like Christianity came to be in Hawaii.
Wait,
So,
did
you
the
know.
book actually say that she was Christian? Because she could have either been Catholic.
Well, I mean they
Jehovah's
mentioned
Witness.
like
Christian
well,
as in,
okay,
like,
I guess not. You're right.
in
But,
general.
Arturo.
but they talked about Satan and
Well, I was
Like-
remember specifically at one point she was talking about being a Jehovah's Witness.
And that was because she was.
but then why'd they celebrate her birthday?
They won't say that she was a
I guess you could say another reason why they don't put like voices like bad info about people is that like you know how people like hate Obama. If the general press was to normally put like the good things and the bad things about Obama, the people who hate Obama will generally focus on the bad things, and they can use that against Obama, and that can create like a.
Well, the people who hate Obama are just putting Bush's problems on Obama.
Okay, we're getting off topic. We're getting off topic again.
Like,
Next question.
I guess a reason why they haven't really put this stuff into the history books is because they want to leave a good impression onto the students to have them learn about the good stuff and not the bad stuff, so then they don't feel ashamed of their history, and they can keep it like pretty just so they can feel happy about where they're from and not so that everybody's saying, oh, they were tricked into treating us like this or stuff like that. They should keep it realistic.
I think it's
After.
also to attract tourists because if like they heard like those people were forced to do that and someone did like force them to do that, then they wouldn't pay money to come.
Well, it's Hawaii,
I know, but
tropical
still like
beaches, pineapple
If-
with a straw in it. Of course they're gonna come, though.
It's actually a coconut
Yeah, I
straw.
know that's
What?
Coconut.
Coconut, you coconut.
Pineapple you eat, coconut you drink.
Yeah,
You can also
straw.
eat
Pina colada.
Like those little
Eat coconut, whatever.
umbrellas.
Okay, off topic.
I think the voices in the textbook, like the interpretation of the voices in the textbook, I think it means like different perspectives. So I think they're trying like to put one perspective for everyone to see. So it's not like so it's not like slaves' perspective, so it's like all bad, and it's not like the rich people's perspective, so it's all good. I think it's kind of like in the middle because when I was doing like the textbook, like when I was reading it last year, I remember it was telling us like the bad and good about George Washington and like our president.
So basically letting them have everything, just let them give an equal impersonation of the Kauai's culture.
One more comment and we're done.
I think, I mean, timekeepers, how much have you been
We've got
30 seconds, oh my god.
6, 2 more minutes.
Oh, let's move on to another question then.
Okay, we'll do,
We're not here.
How is Hawaiian culture being degraded?
Degraded.
I didn't understand.
How is Hawaii?
How is Hawaiian culture being degraded?
Okay,
People making a joke.
Liam, I think you should stop talking.
Being
Okay.
degraded because
No offense.
the tourists are pretty much forcing them to do the education of being hospitality, to be nice to the people.
Yeah, fake hospitality, fake.
So they're being forced so that they could get the money from the tourists in their education. They have to learn to be nice to everybody so that they could get the money from the tourists.
You want
And,
to
like, they're taking like normal, like traditional things like the luau, and they're kind of giving it an American touristy spin, and then they're making it. You know what I mean.
yeah, like I just said.
So
Basically giving tourists what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Luana, or you know, Luana, do you have anything to say to reflect to this question?
like the Hawaiian culture, like the Hawaiian culture is
That's the end.
okay, you can wrap it up.
You can finish it.
degraded because how people want to like go there and like have fun, but like the people there.
Does anyone have anything on the tip of their tongue that they were down to say?
They kind
Great
of said it
discussion.
already.
Jake, how many
It's like,
marks did Archer win?
Let him talk.
I could have had 5.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
like when, well, going back to why are many voices left out of history books? It's like when you see something good, you want to get it, but when you know that there's bad things about it, then you don't want to. It's like they might think if they put in all the good stuff, people want to visit that place. But if they put in bad stuff, like this place isn't good or anything, they might lose money for tourists that are going there and visiting.
Yay, we just completed our first seminar.
That was great, you guys.